Holiday spending has always been a slippery slope and a debt trap for me. So how am I going to prevent that from happening this year? Let's talk about it. In this video, I want to talk about what I will and won't be doing this holiday season to prevent overspending and adding to my current debt. Hi, my name is Jen, and if you are new here, I am on a journey to pay off a lot of debt. And if I'm being really honest with you, holiday spending has me terrified. Considering that it's the second week of December, I know I'm a little behind, but I think the fear of my old habits and spending too much money has put me in a position to where I don't want to spend anything at all. I spent some time this past weekend creating a game plan so that I can feel comfortable moving forward and to be able to avoid last-minute emotional decisions. So I figured I would share them. So I have 10 things on my list or my plan of how I'm going to move forward this holiday season. And the first thing that I have on my list this year is setting a firm spending limit before I buy anything at all. I had to determine how much I'm going to be able to spend based off of what I have saved already and what I can save with my first and second paycheck of December while still paying down debt. The spending limit that I'm going to set for myself will include gifts as well as activities that I'm going to do over the next few weeks with my family. And I'm going to track all my purchases as I go. In the past, I would set a number or a limit, but I would never look back at that limit. I wouldn't track as I go, and pretty much that limit was a suggestion and not a real true limit. The second thing that I will be doing this year is letting my kids, my family, and those that are close to me know that I will be keeping it very simple this year. And this is something that I've already done, and I was actually very surprised at how well it went. My kids are very understanding, especially since over the last few months I've been sharing this journey with them. They know what I am going through, so that way their expectations are level set. This also allowed me to set expectations with my family and my friends to where not only do they know what to expect from me, but they also now know that I'm not expecting anything from them. And I think in this economy where everyone is feeling things are a little tight, it comes as a relief versus a letdown. The third thing on my plan, and I think this is probably the most important one if I'm being honest, is that I won't be falling for emotional spending triggers. I am a very emotional spender. Not only in the holidays, but pretty much for any occasion. But since we were talking about the holidays, Christmas often activates a lot of feelings and emotions for me. And I often end up finding myself spending money on gifts that I really truly can't afford. So I had to put some thought into why this happens. And for me, what I've determined is it's usually to make up for a tough year, or for some reason, I feel the need to prove how much I love someone. This happens a lot with my family and my friends. Like, I feel this need to prove that I'm a good mom, or I'm a good daughter or sister, or even that I'm a good friend. And I know that gifts don't prove that, but I think that comes from a place of insecurity. And I feel that if I get them the best gift, or I get them exactly what they want, that it will show how much I care about them or how much I love them, even though I know that my family and my kids and my friends all know that I care about them, and I do show it in other ways throughout the year. But something happens to me during the holidays where I feel like I have something to prove. One of the last things that I realized, and this is more towards how much I spend on gifts for my kids, is that I carry a lot of guilt, a lot of mom guilt. Like, I feel I haven't been the best mom, or I've made some poor choices, or if their father's not there for them, I feel like I have to make up for it. And I feel like a lot of their happiness relies on me. Even though they're older now, I still feel the same amount of guilt. And I always, around holidays and even birthdays and things like that, feel that I need to overcompensate through gifts. And I know that that's not the reality, but my emotions tend to tell me that I need to give more so that I can make them happy and I can make up for maybe not always being there as a mom or whatever it is, whatever I feel guilty for. Some of it is rational and some of it's very irrational, but it exists and I have to acknowledge it. And the more that I acknowledge it, the more that I can come to terms with it and like really learn to control that. But I'm not going to fall into those traps this year. And I'm going to avoid doing that by sticking to the list that I've created and reminding my kids and my family and my friends how much they truly mean to me in other ways. I know that this is going to be something that's very hard for me come Christmas Day. Like, I think as I purchase gifts and stick to my budget, I think I will be able to consistently remind myself like I'm doing this for a reason and I can keep those emotions in check. But I think on Christmas Day, it's going to be a little difficult for me because it won't feel the same as it has in the past. You know, like the magic of waking up in the morning and having a ton of gifts under the tree and just everyone excited about opening gifts and all of that. I know that's not the spirit of the holiday, but that is just something that I am used to. So I think that guilt and those emotions may creep up a little bit on Christmas morning, and I just need to continue to remind myself that it's okay. They know that I love them, and it has nothing to do with the gifts and the money that I spend for this one holiday. Number 4 on my list is something that I won't be doing this year, and that is buying new Christmas decorations. I'm someone who used to buy new Christmas decor for my tree and for my house every single year. I had to change the theme or the color scheme depending on how I felt that season, and it costs a lot of money. I'm sure you know exactly how much Christmas and holiday decorations cost, and you use it for what, a month, 6 weeks out of the year, and then it goes into my storage, which is my storage unit that I paid so much money for. So this year I have decided that I will not buy any new Christmas decorations. No new ornaments, no new nothing. We actually did put up our tree already, and I used multiple decorations from previous years. So this year we have a tree with mixed matched decorations, which is something I didn't used to do. My tree had to be perfect. Like my ornaments had to be aligned and everything had to be set up perfectly. And if my kids wanted to put something on the tree, as embarrassing as this sounds, we would put the non-matching ornaments towards the back of the tree just so they could be on there, but they wouldn't be so obvious. This year, we put all the ornaments on the tree. Anything that we wanted to put up there, we did. It's colorful, it's mixed and matched, but I love it. I actually like it a lot, and everything on the tree has meaning to it. So one thing I will continue to do is every year, my kids and I, and mostly it's probably just going to be my daughter and I this year because my son probably could care less, but we would buy one ornament for that year that would be our ornament of the year. And that ornament tends to be the least expensive out of all of them. But we would buy something that's either fun or something that we found at like the Christkindl market, or just an ornament that actually meant something to us. And every year we place that ornament on the tree. And it's just something that's very special and something that I will continue to do. We haven't bought that one ornament yet for this year, but I think if we do go to the Christkindl market or we are out one day and we find an ornament that speaks to us, we will buy it, and that will be our 2025 ornament. Also, going with this theme of not buying new Christmas decorations, I will also not be buying a ton of new wrapping paper. That's another thing that I did, was every year I had to buy new wrapping paper that matched the Christmas tree. Even if I had wrapping paper saved from previous years that I didn't use, that was old paper. I couldn't reuse it. This year we will be reusing what we had left from previous years. And if we need to buy anything new, we will be buying some of the less expensive wrapping paper, because in previous years, I would buy the wrapping paper that was the foil paper or the glittery paper, you know, the ones that cost like $10 a roll or more that you can only wrap like 1.5 gifts with. Yeah, we won't be doing that this year. We will be buying the more affordable wrapping paper because at the end of the day, it just gets thrown away anyway. Number 5 is that I won't be buying Christmas presents for every single person that I'm going to see in the month of December. Yeah, that's a thing that I used to do. I would feel guilty showing up to a coffee or lunch, or if I was going to see someone at their house, I would feel guilty not showing up with gifts, even if this is someone that I would normally not exchange a gift with. I don't know why I felt that way. I think it falls under the lines of feeling guilty or proving that I'm a good enough friend. I am not exactly sure, but that is something that I will not be feeling pressured to do this year, and it's just not something that's in my budget. Along with that, I am reducing how many outings that I'm going on in the month of December to avoid spending extra money anyway. But if I do meet up with a friend or a family member, I am not going to feel obligated to show up with a gift unless it's someone that's close enough that I normally would exchange a gift with. And number 6 on my list is I will be focusing on gifts that have meaning versus the price tag of the gift. There are going to be times where I'm going to feel like I do need to bring something because it is someone that is closer to me or a friend that maybe I would normally spend a little bit more money on. So I've decided that I'm going to focus more on the meaning behind the gift that I'm giving them versus the price or the cost or an actual item, let's say. And what I decided to do is I am going to focus on photo gifts. And my idea is, especially for my friends, is I'm going to find a picture that I took with them this past year that I absolutely love. And I'm going to print that picture out and I'm going to give it to them with a letter or a card that tells them exactly how much they mean to me as a friend and thank them for all the support that they've given me over the past year and maybe 1 or 2 of my favorite memories with them. The other gift that I'm gonna give is a holiday treat. So like a plate of cookies or something along those lines. I do have plans to bake cookies with my kids. So those cookies will then go towards gifts for people. And some ideas that I've done in the past have been like experience coupons. I've done that for my kids and for significant others in the past. I've also done the photo idea in the past where I've bought frames or something along those lines to give the photos in. That does add a little bit more to the budget, so that's why I'm not doing frames this year. And another idea, which is something that I have done in previous years as well, is I'm a very crafty person. I used to always have a ton of craft supplies around, and so I would make something. It would be like an ornament, or I think one year I did like soap or even jewelry, things like that. I'm not doing that this year because I don't have the supplies and I'm not going to go out and buy supplies, nor do I really have the time to hand make something. But it's also something that is low cost if you have things to make items. Just some other ideas that I thought about, but I am not going to be doing this year. I'm going to stick to handmade letter and a photo or homemade treats. Number 7 on my plan is I will be creating new traditions that don't cost a lot of money. This year, I really want to put more value on the time that I spend with my family versus the amount of gifts that I give them. And so I put together some ideas. I'm not going to do all of them, but I've put together some ideas of things that I can do with my family over the next few weeks that don't cost a lot of money. Some of those ideas are movie nights with my kids. So picking a Christmas movie. I have my favorites and they have their favorites. So I figured we can pick one that we all like and we can make some hot chocolate or some holiday flavored coffees. My daughter used to be a barista when she was in college, so she's pretty experienced with making lattes and coffee drinks and things like that. So I thought it would be fun if we got some holiday syrups and we made some flavored lattes and watched a movie together. Another thing on the list is baking cookies. And I mentioned that earlier where we would just bake cookies as a family and then those cookies could be used to give as a holiday treat gift. I saw this idea on TikTok of painting little craft houses. They're like little wooden houses that you can get at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I don't know how much they are, so I don't know if this is going to be feasible, but I do know that we have a lot of acrylic paints here at the house. So I thought it would be fun to buy a few of the craft houses and me and my daughters can get together. I don't think my son would want to paint, but my daughters and I could get together one night and paint the holiday houses together. Along those same lines, I thought about doing a holiday craft idea with my grandkids. That I'm going to have to look up on either Pinterest or TikTok for some ideas that are suitable for a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. But since we don't do a lot of activities like that currently, I thought it would be fun to put together like a holiday kit or a holiday activity, I can go over to their house and spend an afternoon doing that with them. And the last thing that I had on the list is driving around to look at holiday decorations. I know it sounds silly. I don't know if it does, but it sounds a little silly, right? But I know in my area, there's a lot of neighborhoods where they go all out for Christmas decorations. I don't decorate outside of my house, but I do enjoy seeing that. So I thought it would be fun one night looking up a neighborhood that is known for having extravagant holiday decorations and just taking a drive and going to check them out. I don't know, that's what I put together. Some may sound silly. Maybe my kids might say they don't want to do that with me, but I spend some time just thinking of things that we can do together that would be fun and can start a new tradition versus just going shopping to buy things for them that they may or may not like. The next thing on the list is I won't be buying holiday specific clothing. Every year I used to buy holiday pajamas or matching pajamas. I won't be doing that this year. And the other thing that I would buy would be like a holiday sweater or like an outfit that I could only really wear for Christmas. And so I won't be doing that. I will either be wearing something that I have purchased before, if it still fits me, or just wearing like something red instead of holiday specific. I have a lot of red clothes. I don't have to buy anything to wear for this year. And number 9 on the list, which also probably should have been higher up on the list, but number 9 is we will not be using any buy now, pay later options. No Affirm, no Klarna, no Afterpay, no Chase Pay in 4, none of those. We're not using any of that this year. In addition to no credit cards, we are not doing any buy now, pay laters. It's a trap. It's a trap. I can tell you, one of the Affirm loans that I just paid off in the beginning of this journey was for something that I purchased last year for Christmas. We are not doing that. We are not doing that again. Nope. And the other thing that we are not doing, and this is going to sound ridiculous, and it was ridiculous when I wrote it out, but we are not going to be buying gifts based on store credit cards that we have available. Like, that is not happening. As embarrassing as it is to admit, that is something that I used to do. If I didn't want to use the money that I had in my checking account, I would just say, okay, well, I have a Nordstrom card, so I'm going to buy them a gift from Nordstrom. Well, maybe it's somebody that I would have only had spent $20, $30 on because, they're just an acquaintance and I'm only going to buy them something small. But since I had a Nordstrom card, and really what can you buy at Nordstrom for $20, I ended up buying them something more expensive than what I normally would have bought. And it was put on a credit card with a super high interest. So that $30, $40 gift ended up probably costing me about $100. It's crazy. And I'm in a position now where I can realize that and say, no, we are not doing that. We are sticking to our spending limit that we have created with cash, and we will not be using buy now, pay later. We will not be using credit cards. We will not be using store cards. None of that. Absolutely not. That is not happening this year or any year after this one. And the last thing, number 10, is that I'm still going to enjoy this holiday season, and I'm going to continue to remind myself that it is not about the gifts, how much you give, how expensive it was. It's about the time with your family, valuing them being present, reminding myself of the great year that we had despite all the setbacks, and at the same time, giving myself grace if anything doesn't go according to plan. So those are the 10 things that are on my plan for this year. I often wondered if I was the only one that did some of these things or not, but I have done a lot of reflecting, and I think putting this holiday plan together can allow me to still have a very fun and meaningful holiday without all the spending regret, the stress, and any new debt come the new year. So now that I have a plan and I have shared it, I can finally move forward responsibly this holiday season. Hopefully this has helped you in some way as well. I hope the next few weeks are full of love and joy, and that you have a wonderful holiday season. As always, I appreciate you for following along in my journey, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.